Hi, this is Taylor. Just doing my presentation. I'm sorry that this one's a little late, but my presentation today is just about passing by reference and value. So passing by reference and passing by value are two separate things. What is a value? So first, we need to understand like what is a value in PHP. A value can be a number or a string. Most commonly, when it's passed, it is a value or a number. It's most common just to pass a number through to do calculations or different things like that. But um, it also is very common to pass a string through, but most likely that'd be passed by reference. But we'll get to that. Um, An example of passing in a value situation is this function right here. If you look, you have this function times num a and num b. Echo num a times num b, which is just going to. But this is where we're passing. So this is the function that we're calling. It's called times. And we're passing the first value 5 to A and 7 to B. And this this is passing by value. And one thing that makes passing by value effective or pleasing to some people is that it's quick, it's simple, it's straightforward. You put in a function, its name, and you put in the value that you want that function to be or to do. And it makes it that simple. So that's kind of like the why and of why would people use passing by value. When is kind of in these situations when you're passing a number or an integer that's pretty quick and simple to multiply or times or putting it into an equation. I've done it multiple times, not in PHP, but in C++ in the past. Okay, and let's go to the next one. The next one is, what is a reference? So a reference is pretty simple. It is a variable, a var. I like to call it because I used to do a lot of JavaScript. But a variable that you give a name and a value to that name. For example, num equals 5. So we're stating this variable num a, and we're giving it a value of 5. So if we go to the next one, I just want to show you kind of the examples of passing a reference. Now, this is going to look a lot like the one before, but what we're doing is we're setting kind of a global variable. I say global because it's outside of these brackets, so it could be used anywhere inside of the code. But so this variable right here, num a, equals 5, and num b equals 7. That's actually going down, passing this function and going into this times function that's getting called down here. And oh, sorry, can't click. Times function, and putting in these values into this section, and basically doing the same thing as what it was doing before, but instead of putting just values, we're passing this reference. And that's what it is. It's really simple. It's quite easy to do. Why do people use reference instead of a value? One thing that you'll learn, well, even looking into the code that we're doing this semester, uh, we do a lot of references because we're referencing uh, the database, and we're actually putting things, values from the database into a variable, and then putting that variable into the function and running that function. So especially with SQL queries that we've been doing, it has to run with that value that we're trying to give it, but that value differs depending on what person you log into, or different product that you use, or the different product that you're modifying, things like that. So passing by value is by value and reference are used everywhere. This semester, I feel like we're using reference a lot more than just value, but that's kind of the conclusion. It's pretty simple. It's really basic, but it's powerful because these things are used almost everywhere within coding, and not only in PHP, but also in every single language out there: Java, C++, C Sharp, JavaScript, everything. Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. Okay. Bye bye.